We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race that the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher back in 1992. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Oldtimer, Russell, Carlos Sainz, and Perez, Hamilton, Norris, Ricciardo, and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Bottas, Guan Yu Zhou, and Gasly, Vettel, Magnussen, Alex Albon, and Yuki Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Alright, so we're back, guys. Welcome back to the TheCombustionGamer YouTube channel and Florida Racing. We got the beautiful polos out with the red fade into the green. It's beautiful. But anyways, let's take a look at what we got. So currently that is our strategy. That is quite a strategy there on the soft tires. The hard tires right there, you can see where we get going with that. I think what we're going to do is go into here. What we're going to switch up is we're going to go to mediums. We're going to go as long as we can on those, and then stint 2 we will switch to the reds, and I think that's going to be our best strategy for sure. So there we go. That's the strategy I'm going with anyways. Taking a look at fuel, we got ourselves a little bit of fuel that we can take out there. That should be good. Should be flat out for most of the race, so we definitely want to make sure we have plenty of fuel for the end of it. Obviously we could have a safety car. That is always a possibility, so we'll have to see what we do. So let's get ready to go racing here in Belgium, as we had a really good qualifying lap. Ended up getting off into the dirt just a little bit with our rear tire back there. That ended up us losing just a little bit of time and giving Verstappen and Leclerc there the front 2 positions. But we're in a pretty good spot, and this track is, it's something else. So let's get into it here. So I noticed something interesting during practice as we're off here in the Belgian Grand Prix, and that was we had a very interesting setup with the car. It was pretty stiff, so we ended up bringing that differential back down. Ended up doing much better than the turns, but we were having a lot of issues in some of those further back turns there. Also, have to forget with how much power we have and how much downforce, just so that the car doesn't get unruly. Ooh, looks like somebody ended up spinning out in the back there. That's not good. Alexander Albon already out of the session. What is happening behind us? I don't know, but that backstretch further back there, it's pretty treacherous if you don't let off the throttle. So that's one thing that I learned, is to let off the throttle as we're going up that hill, or else we're going to have some major issues. A little bit of a bump there to Verstappen here. Now this right through here is where I am probably the best that I can be. Just because I'm able to hold the turns a little bit better than these guys are, except for when I get up on the curve, and that could unsettle the car. But for the most part, pretty comfortable in the back stretch here. It's that first stretch where I'm really kind of uncomfortable with how my car works. But through here, for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how the car works, all things considered. As you can see, I'm pretty close up here to Verstappen. Going to get underneath him and get that spot. He'll probably get past me here on the straight as he has more speed. Yep. He's got more straightaway speed than I do, so that's where, for this track, we're going to have an interesting race because I'm good in the turns, but these guys are much better in the straights, so we got to really work as best as we can there and see what we can do. Haven't even used ERS. Could definitely use some brake upgrades, I can tell you that right now. Use a little bit of ERS right here. Yep, just using a little bit of ERS there just to get away from... Who's behind us? Hamilton. Oop, and we got issue with our back wing. Probably going to be locked during DRS, so that's going to hurt us a little bit. Yep, I know. Going way too wide there. Yeah, we got past Verstappen there. Would be nice if that wing would get stuck open sometimes, but doesn't want to do that. There we go, Verstappen with a very good overtake there into that turn. I just ended up getting into the wrong spot for my entry, and that let him have a nice little open space. But you can see right here through the turn.
DRS will be offline. There's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out. We can work on a fix remotely.
Yep, so there's that issue. So luckily that's why we went with mediums. We'll have given them plenty of time to work here. Looks like Hamilton's going to get by us. Let off the throttle there just a little bit. But you see, through the turns, I'm able to maintain speed so much better than these guys do. Get underneath Hamilton, cross him back over. Almost got Verstappen's rear bumper there, if he had a bumper. Ooh, boy, really got into that turn. Use our ERS as much as we can through here. So we'll see if we get our DRS ability back or not. Obviously we don't have it. We're right through here.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS
Which
zone.
currently we don't have it enabled, so that won't work at all. So, but nice to know that it is available once they get it fixed. Seems to be me and Verstappen here quite a lot of late. Wasn't last race. I'm not sure what we had wrong with the car, but also everybody really brought a really good game with that setup, because that was definitely more technical, whereas this is definitely a little bit more speed oriented, which somehow we definitely have a pretty decent amount of speed. Definitely not as fast as the rest of the field when it comes to straightaway speed. But we got the handling for the nice long sweeping turns, which definitely comes in handy. So definitely like how the car is working with that. Gonna use some ERS here. See what that does for us on speed, and it's doing pretty good. Gave Verstappen a little bit of a bump there. Gonna stick our nose in, probably where it doesn't belong, but that's alright. Ooh, and I think we have ERS fixed. Yep, there it is, ERS
Nice move, good job.
has been fixed. We also got the fastest lap of the race right now. Use a little bit of ERS to get away from Verstappen, and we'll shut that back down and try to save some of that currently. So we're off on a odd strategy compared to the other guys. We got medium tires on here. They're running softs, but really hasn't been a whole lot of an advantage either way. It doesn't look like between us and the soft tired cars, because Sainz is up here too, running pretty good. So doesn't really seem to be that much of an advantage tire compound wise. Obviously we'll have a little bit of an advantage, as we'll be able to run longer for the first stint. So it's going to be interesting to see what they run, if they're going to switch to the hards or if they're going to switch to mediums as was planned previously. So if you guys could potentially change that strategy altogether and come in really early, which wouldn't be a terrible strategy idea, and switch the hards and just run. It just depends on what they're trying to do, I guess. Ooh, get a little bit too close to that gravel there, so get to watch that. Slowly kind of reading in Leclerc here. We'll use a little bit of VRS getting up to speed. We'll turn that back off. Try not to use all of it like we did in Hungary. We used basically all of our ERS and didn't have much left. A little bit wide there. And came in a little bit too hot. Gave Leclerc a bit of a bump.
Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs.
Righto. So let's see what kind of lap time we can put in here. So obviously Verstappen ended up staying out, which is interesting. He's running soft tires. Everyone else with softs already came in for lap 4, so it might have been like might have had a miscommunication there. I would have expected him to really stay out there, unless they're trying to get him to really run his tires as far as he can, and then switch to mediums, which is an interesting strategy. He's had a bit of an issue with looping out a few times this year, if I remember correctly, especially at the Red Bull Ring. He ended up having a little bit of a loop issue there, so not sure that's his best strategy with the car he's got, but we'll see what happens. Currently leading here, which I definitely like the feeling of that. Ooh, yep. Had that happen in practice once. Just ended up catching that tire on that groove, and we had to replace a wing that time. Luckily, I was able to keep it out off the wall, because I knew exactly as soon as I felt it, I was like, yep, gotta slow it on down there. Alright, let's get some time back here. ERS all the way through here. Turn that back off. Nicely there. Good. Back to ERS. Ooh, we got Sainz staying out with us here. Should have Perez as well, it looks like. Haven't heard anything about whether or not Piastri's in the pits yet or not. He's in the pits, good, so he's following the same strategy as Verstappen. There's 3 different strategies, or at least 3 different strategies going on in this race so far, so that's interesting. Using a little ERS through here. Just trying to kind of make up for some time I lost there. That definitely lost us a little bit of times to Leclerc, who's currently running with, I'm assuming he's running with mediums, but I'm not sure. But he's got brand new tires, whereas we don't. See what my tires are looking like here. They're looking pretty good. You can kind of see them all back there already lumped up, so they're really close. Oop, don't do that. So could we get a safety car? That is a good question. We already had one car totally end his existence. I think that was Albon. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he ended up, I think he got into some sort of skirmish going up the hill for the first part of the race, and I think that ended up just ruining whatever he had in his car, which is definitely a bummer for him. Running our ERS through here. Turn that back off. Hit those brakes. Nice and easy through here. Gonna get a little bit too tight through there, but that's okay. A little bit of ERS to get going.
Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push.
What do you think I've been doing? I've been pushing the whole time, dude. Alrighty, I see. Alright, so there's a lot of different strategy going on. I see a few other guys hitting pit road now. So I'm not sure what all the strategy calls were, but there's some interesting ones going on there for sure. Alright, so Leclerc is 16 seconds back with medium tires. So we're not really that far ahead of him, unfortunately.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel
Alright,
left.
so we got fuel to make it to the end, I'm pretty sure. We got Sainz and Perez out here with us. I think we got Vettel actually doing a pretty good job there running with Leclerc. Not sure if he's on our strategy or if he's on Leclerc's strategy. Make sure we don't loop the car this time, please. Thank you. I'm really liking how the car's handling all things considered. We're doing really, really good with that. Go ahead and use ERS coming in here. Ooh, I felt a little bit of a pull there. That was interesting. Almost lost the car, I think. Turn off our ERS. We should be coming in this time by. That's the plan. And I missed pit road. So we'll stay out another lap. I forgot what pit road entrance was. I thought it was much closer to the track, but they moved it, I think. And I totally missed it, so we are gonna keep on rolling here. And we're actually putting some more time on the guys behind us anyways, so might not have been my worst idea, all things considered. Not the plan, that's for sure, but that was my mistake.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Yeah, so that's good to hear. So tires are actually doing better than we were thinking they were going to run, so that is good information to have from our crew chief. Letting us know that things are going pretty good along those lines. And we're going to save ERS this entire lap because we're pretty low on it there, so no need to use it up if we don't have to. A little bit wide there, didn't like that. Ooh, yep, tire wear. Tell that's going on. Alright, so we gotta really try and find this pit road here this next lap by. And figure out what we got going on, because I'm not sure where it is now, unfortunately. Ooh, Leclerc's gotten back in front of Vettel. Good for him.
Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Alright, pit road, there we go. Pit road is way out here.
And it looks like the pit crew are out in the lane and ready to perform their magic on the car. They're going to be aiming to achieve the fastest pit stop time possible.
Precisely.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Alright, that actually didn't work out nearly as bad as I thought it was going to. As we are directly behind Leclerc, we gotta let these tires warm up just a little bit though, before we really start going after him. But that strategy worked out perfectly, even though we had a miscommunication of where in the world pit road was. And apparently Vettel was on our strategy. He pitted at the same time we did, so he was either just waiting around for us to pit or something, but I think that's what ended up happening. He was just waiting around to pit with us, and that's why he was up there near the front. Alright, able to move Leclerc out of the way there. He was slow, I'm not sure what he was doing, so I was just like, okay, let's move along here, buddy. An interesting strategy call there by a lot of people. Definitely a lot of when to come in, when not to come in strategy, which is fascinating. But luckily we got brand new tires. Leclerc's been on those tires for a while now, so he's got quite a bit of wear. We should be able to put down a pretty good lap time. We still have the fastest lap as well, which is definitely impressive for sure. So We'll see with brand new soft tires on, will we be able to beat
Right,
that?
we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Alright, so we're good on fuel. So that's certainly what we wanted to hear. Missed on the brakes there. Nice and easy. And 3-second penalty, of course it will be.
We need to slow down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty.
I'm surprised they didn't give me a penalty for missing pit road, honestly.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get
I think
it
we
done.
can get it done. As long as we don't get any more. I think we can open up that space there pretty good, all things considered. And we'll see. Soft tire is definitely going to help out with that. Ooh, yeah, fastest time in Sector 1 there. Let's beat my previous time. Nice and easy on the brakes there. Ooh, a little bit too shallow. And we're not using any ERS through these zones just because we got issues with stability. Especially with those long turns, we want to make sure we have full control of the car at all costs. Make sure we don't loop it, please. Thank you. I think we might have been able to beat these guys on strategy because speed, we weren't going to have necessarily straightaway speed for them for these guys. But I think once again turns and the strategy has been our key development. Looks like we got a bit of a yellow going on back there in the field behind us.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Alright, only 2 laps of fuel left and 1 lap to go. Mick Schumacher apparently into the wall or something in the back as he is out of contention here.
Okay, this is your final lap. Final lap.
And
of
we
the race.
just made our fastest lap of the race. Gonna go a little bit wide here. Gonna hit that ERS and scoot away here for the final lap. Gonna save some ERS for that final backstretch there just to try and help get us as far away as we can be. Yeah, you see on the straights they can kind of close in on me just a little bit. It's through the turns where the car has the handling and I can really get it to do what I want it to. So that's where our real, at least my personal driving style's advantage is having all of this great handling and aerodynamics, because that is really what's helping me pull away from these guys so well, is being able to have the handling
Flag.
under high speed, so that's helpful.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Alright, so apparently we got eventually that's the Schumacher incident. That could be interesting. See where that is. Looks like they might have cleared that up in all reality. We're going to use our ERS to sail it home here. Alright, nice and easy, nice and easy. And launch it off there. What do we get?
Absolutely
First.
awesome.
Just
amazing
able to put it off there
example.
time-wise. Sweet. Wasn't totally sure there for a minute, but we got it. Oh, that's good. That's a fun track as long as you have a good handling car.
Difficult race then on one of the all-time classic circuits, but they persevered to take the win here today. What do you think it was today, Ants, that gave them the edge over the competition?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
The faces on our top three look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Well, it wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Well, for me it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the boring choice at this point, but you can't argue that he's a driver deserving of his reputation.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Ultimately, this came down to a lot of luck on the strategy, being the fact that I came to pit road late. That ended up, I think, actually helping me out because I was able to stretch out my lead by, I think, about a second plus because of where it was on tires. And I think that really helped me out, ultimately being able to get to where I needed to be. And able to drag race basically Charles Leclerc out of there, and having those soft tires at the end really ended up getting me to exactly where I wanted to be, and that was first, obviously. So that was awesome, being able to do that. So we had Alexander Albon and Mick Schumacher. Both of those guys ended up just wrecking out on something. I'm not sure what happened. He didn't even make it to the first lap, so definitely a bummer for him. Oscar Piastri able to move up from 20th to 18th. Obviously had some help there from these two guys wrecking out, so ended up gaining 2 positions there. So certainly decent day for him. Like to see better, but he's doing pretty good, and we're still working on the car and on his training and stuff, so he should get better as we continue moving on. But that was really good lap time, and you can see there Charles Leclerc's best lap time versus Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen was really fast there compared to the majority of the field, and there at the end obviously able to get that really good lap time with the soft tires on, so that also gave us plenty of rubber on the race course at that point as well, so that really did help out our car be able to just grip that much better. So even with the 3-second penalty, we're still able to beat him out, so that is really cool there. So sweet. Alright, so let's take a look at standings here, see where we're at. That keeps us basically where we were. We're still in 7th. That's Sergio Perez and George Russell. They've kind of fallen down a little bit, so I'm kind of within striking distance of hopping over those guys, potentially getting to 4th over Hamilton, potentially, if I can get some more points. So that's certainly something to keep an eyeball on. And then currently sitting 5th in the Constructors. Probably we would only be able to get McLaren. I don't think we can get any higher than that, but that's probably a bit of a dream, honestly, to get over McLaren. But anyways, that was a fun race. I enjoyed it. I did not think that pit strategy was going to work out as well as it did, but I definitely enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. We'll see you back at HQ here in just a bit. Alright guys, so not much time between now and the very next race, so we got a few different things. Marketing Strategy Conference, 200 for the team acclaim, team durability, driver promotion, or we can do training. We're going to keep that going on as we're trying to really help our driver out as much as we can. We really don't not have much on the way of resource points, so we're kind of limited on anything we can do with that. So basically we're going to be going straight into the race weekend. That's the Dutch Grand Prix there. And that's really all we can do. So there we go. Dutch Grand Prix is up next. That could be interesting. I think I only slightly started to figure this game out, this particular track out, in the last season of the F1 2020 that we did. So it's going to be interesting learning it with a new car. So that could be fun. And it also could be disaster. So we'll see what we do. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for us here at the Florida Racing HQ. Not much going on. We do have some moolah, but we're going to need to acquire a bit more of that. Plus, also, we got to save some so that we're ready to go for the next season. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you guys here next time. Bye-bye.